The Book of Psalms is a collection of 150 ancient Hebrew poems or songs employed in a variety of spiritual, magical, medical, and social circumstances. So it forms one of the most loved portions of the Hebraic Bible and is equally revered in the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. So the word Psalms come from the Greek psalmo, meaning song sung to a harp. Now, another name for the book of Psalms is the psaltery, from the Greek, meaning to play on a stringed instrument. So in addition to its religious or scriptural value, this ancient sacred text, it has long found popular favor for use in bibliomancy, okay? Which is a form of divination or fortune telling conducted by means of a book. So I do want to talk about that. And when you get into bibliomancy, it literally means divination by means of a book, as commonly practiced during a spirit-led Southern-style hoodoo reading. So they used to do this during the days of our ancestors, okay? They used to actually read the book of Psalms, okay? The hoodoo root workers, okay? It was a spirit-led Southern-style hoodoo reading, the Holy Bible, or another book containing a large variety of passages of a sacred or mystical character, is asked a question. So the book is then opened at random, right? The Bible, and the portion selected is read. And it's kind of read as a psychic message sent from the realm of the spirit. It's really to shed light upon the client's situation or condition. Now, due to the wide range of subjects contained in books, bibliomancy can be utilized to obtain a spirit-guided answer as to whether or not to make a specific choice, okay, such as renting a home versus buying one, or dating one person versus another. So really, it's just used to utilize or to obtain a spirit-guided answer or to take a specific action, okay? Such as taking a job that has been offered or undertaking a journey. So that is what bibliomancy is. And some people, they do it with the Holy Bible to receive a spirit-led answer, or a spirit-guided answer. And it's really just to shed light upon the client's situation or condition, right? And so somebody may get the Bible and they may select a random passage in a book, right? If you want, or if you have like a question and you want a spirit-guided answer, right? So these are pretty much, this is why Psalms was used, okay? So I want to get a little bit more into this. Let's talk about bibliomancy with the book of Psalms, okay? So this particular book, the book of Psalms, it is the most popular and most often memorized book of all the books in the Bible. Although it is a slim volume, the Psalms may be consulted on matters of divination, for within its 150 songs are verses that cover virtually the entire gamut of human life. Well, it basically, in remedial terms, it covers virtually the entire aspect of human life. There are psalms of devotion and awe, psalms of thanksgiving and praise, psalms of remorse and atonement, psalms containing pleas for mercy and justice, psalms of affirmation, okay, in matters of personal security, psalms of protection, and even psalms of justified revenge against wrongdoers. Okay, you see it? So let's also get into this. So to divine with the book of Psalms, you need only have a copy of the book, okay, the Bible, and a moment of calm, peaceful silence. You close your eyes, you ask the question, and you open the book at random. Set your finger at the place on the pages that feels right. Then you open your eyes and you read the line your finger touches. There is your answer. If you feel so inclined, you may read the entire verse or the entire Psalms in which the line was situated for further guidance. It is said that if the Psalm your finger chose does not specifically answer your question, then it may be that God is using the chosen Psalm to warn you of upcoming danger, prepare you for an unexpected blessing, or otherwise lead you into a previously unseen path. So in other words, the answer you receive from the book of Psalms, okay, using Bibliomancy, it may be to an unspoken question that will that will prove of greater importance to you than the query you initially propose. So that's just a little bit about, people that actually, they divine by the Bible, okay? They read the Bible as a form of fortune telling, right? Now, the original practitioners of bibliomancy are the Jews. Now, in the times long gone, their Tanakhs were hand-lettered scrolls, and copies were not kept in the home, so the custom arose of interested persons who were weighing an important question. They would casually drop by a synagogue or Hebraic school to hear the children read aloud the daily portion of the scripture that they were learning. Whatever portion the listener heard in passing by the Hebrew school, that was the one he or she was meant to hear. Okay? And people still, do this today as well. So let me take a look here. So it says here, the Jews, they would actually use the book of Psalms, especially family Bibles containing the birth and death dates of ancestors and relatives. It became a treasured heirloom possessions, and they basically consulted with the old family Bible. Because the Bible, it is a sacred book. So you must approach it with reverence and respect. I'm reading something here. So let me just give y'all an example of bibliomancy, okay? So, for example, let's take the common question, will so-and-so marry me? The selection of 1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 13. Then David went over to the other side and stood on top of an hill afar off, a great space being between them, would seem to indicate increased distance, right? And thus an answer of no. On the other hand, a selection of Judges chapter 18, verse 6. And the priest said unto them, go in peace. Before the Lord is your way wherein ye go, would indicate a church wedding before a priest and a peaceful marriage, and thus an answer of yes. Okay. So that's just an example. They would just, well, the Bible is then open at random to find an answer on the page selected. So basically, many practitioners, they open the Bible not once, but 3 times, and on the principle that the third time is a charm. So often the eyes are kept closed while the Bible is open. And then once the page is selected, you will allow your index finger to move in slow circles or figure eights until spirit indicates the time to stop. Then your eyes are opened and the portion of the Bible is read. So I'm just giving you an overview and an example of actually, the book of Psalms, what it was used for. And understanding that it was God's holy word. And they use this hoodoo root doctors, okay? The original Jews or the old wise Hebrews, okay, they did do this, okay? They did keep the Bible or a book of Psalms on the altar or in a drawer. Well, they kept it at the altar or in a drawer or on a shelf directly under the altar when it was not in use, okay? And remember, the Bible is always, it was anyways, as stated, it was always a book that was supposed to be handled with reverence and respect because it was considered as a sacred object, okay? So this book was used for spirit-guided answers. That's exactly what Psalms was for. Okay, and it was also used for protection as well. It was used for protection. So I want to also talk about, I'm going to be back with more prayers. I'm going to say some prayers in Psalms. So let's get into this, you guys. I'm going to be back. I wanted to just go over that with you so that you can understand the book of Psalms, why it was used, what did the original or the Hebrews use the book for. I want you to understand that they used it for bibliomancy. They had any questions, they would go to the book. They would use this book for answers, the answers that they needed to the questions that they had for God. It was used for, it was a spirit guided book that was sacred, that they reverenced, okay? They held in high regard. And they basically understood that these are ancient sacred texts. And so they used it, They did these things. It was a spirit-led Southern style hoodoo reading. That's what they did. And they used the Holy Bible. Okay. They saw it as sacred and mystical. They did. And it, just like a psychic message was sent from the realm of the spirit to shed light upon somebody's situation or condition, that's why they were led by the spirit, the scriptures, the ancient texts, to go to and use the Psalms, okay, and to divine on behalf of a person, and gave them spirit guided answers according to where they were led in the book, where God wanted them to be led. So they would give others a specific choice or answer. You know what I mean? And it was concerning either their situation or condition. So I wanted to talk about that and explain it. It's also used, like I said, to protect yourself from those who wish you harm. It's used to give you a bright spirit, a clean heart, and a clear mind when you recite the scriptures, okay? You can use it to curse debt, curse poverty, and curse ill health. So these are some things that they did, okay, you guys? So thank you so much for watching this video and tuning in. I'm going to be back and we're going to be praying from the book of Psalms, you guys, and reciting scriptures.